Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good day, good night, good everything. And then once it's good, let's get it to greatness. It is I, Johnny, and this is the Who the Heaven Is I podcast. Thank you for listening. If you're a first time listener, know that if you go into the Spotify app, or if you're on Spotify.com, you can actually answer the poll question and the question of the day. So there's interactivity. And you can always call the cool line at 650-383-7469 to connect and share feedback, ask questions, or just text to some funny little happy memes. It is Monday, May 20th, 2024. How's everyone doing today? I will say Mondays are one of those things, if you're a 9 to 5er that some people don't look forward to, which is peculiar for me because if you're not looking forward to it, then why aren't you changing what you're doing? And that's a loaded question because, maybe your circumstances right now put you in a place where you got to do what you got to do. But at what point do you do what's good for you mentally, physically, and spiritually? I know myself that Mondays are like, I don't know, I don't work a 9 to 5 thing with my creative and tech consultings and my projects I'm working on. I feel that I work round the clock, kind of like happy days, happy nights, and I'm always grinding and working. But it's one of those things. I really enjoy doing what I'm doing. And there have been times where I've worked a job that was just like a job to kind of pay the bills. But I always approached it differently. See, I tell this to my kids whenever they complain about doing, and they don't do it often, to be honest with you, but whenever they say, "Oh, I gotta do that, Dad," and I'd be like, "Listen, we live in the year 2024, and it's one of those things where you don't have to, walk 5 miles to the general store to get a bucket of oat grain to then come back and make oatmeal for breakfast." So I think differently. The amount of gratitude that I have for this existence and the time period that we live in is abundant. And I think abundance brings forth abundance. And so that's my philosophy. Monday, fun day. Because why is Sunday the only fun day, right? Like, Mondays should be fun days too. And there's actually a friend that commented on a post I had on Facebook. And we would always joke around how when we go back to school on Mondays, and we're like, "How was your weekend? How was your weekend?" And I thought it was cool that she commented on my post because I haven't talked to her, seen her in years. But it reminded me of that because I think all too often we become creatures of habit just because of communication styles. Like, it becomes the easy in if you're a sports fan to talk about, "Oh, this team did this or this team did that." And it's a conversation jumping point. It's something to talk about. And when you don't see people for a couple of days, the easy thing to say is, "How was your weekend?" But then myself personally, I do not enjoy extreme repetition, extreme conformity, because I feel that it's limiting and it takes away the most important gift that we're given, which is our mind. Our mind, our thought process, the ability to make decisions is, if you go back to biblical terms, free will, or the Rush song, of course. That's one of our gifts, that the divine spark, right? So I like to thinkity think. I like to make decisions. Sometimes Johnny, will go down a rabbit hole and overthink, but I'm doing much better on that. I'm not going down, 20 pathways now. Maybe now I'm only going down seven, and um, and so then my decision making skills are becoming faster because while the universe has been around for eons, our time as a carbon based life form on this planet is quite limited in the grand scheme of things. So I find that you got to pull the trigger. And I'm pulling the trigger this Friday, launching MTV, something that I've been working on for really 4 years. And I suppose when I'm working on a lot of different things at once, it can be overwhelming and challenging, which it has been. Uh, but I can't stop the ideas from coming in, so that's why I got to put them on. As my friend Maddie says, the good idea pile and the great idea pile. Um, but when I feel that a lot of them are really great ideas and they all connect, it's like ah. But MTV, it's something that's been passionate for me. I've been passionate about for a long time because I love music, I love videos, and I love cool, funky T-shirts. So it's natural for me to want to do this. So that's what I'm focusing on this week. In also in tandem with my normal tech consulting duties. But I'm launching a T-shirt shop where I focus on music and play cool videos, and that's the vibe. I think well, it's going to be a retail space, but also it's going to be an online space where people can kind of just chill out and listen to the music videos and buy T-shirts and vibe. So when you're doing it by yourself, it's like launching a retail online entertainment center. It's a lot, and I may have said it before on these episodes, but it's something that I say quite frequently. I don't remember where I even heard it for the first time, but yard by yard, life is hard. Inch by inch, life is a cinch. And it's true. You know, um, you got to take it one bite at a time. And if I look at the the whole pizza and say, "Wow, that's a big pizza," first off, my days of being a fat ass and eating the whole pizza are gone. Although Patsy's Pizza in New York City and Spanish Harlem, their pizza crust is so thin, um, it's kind of easy to eat. At least half a pie. Half a pie is easy, but I haven't been there in a while. But you got to take it one slice at a time, and that's what I'm doing. So today, my focus is just getting all the shirt stuff together. I worked on some set list last night for mixing the music, but now I'm going to work on the actual product. I have a couple lines that I've been working with. There's my Future 86 line, which will support my album slash film Future 86. There's the Soul Pilot, which is the captain of the musical frontier, my musical endeavors. Then there's my Unconditional Love shirt. That one, ooh, I love it. Love, love, love. And right now, that one is hanging at the center of 50 Main. I'm going to actually pull that down and redo the window so I get more shirts in there because I also, I just got to finish painting the front of the Warwick Cares shirt. I had another shirt, but I wore it, so I gotta do laundry on that. But then this other one, I painted the back. Now I gotta paint the front, and so that's the cool thing about MTV. It's also gonna be like an art place too, where people come in, they can paint shirts. If you don't want to paint a shirt, you can paint something else. But just you vibe out to the music, you do some painting, you chill. It's fun for the whole family. I'm gonna have different sets of music, different genres. Okay, so like Saturday night, it's gonna be the Bang Your Head Ball, where it's gonna be like heavy metal. Friday evening, we'll do partial request live, where you can do some, requests, but part of it's going to be requests, and then part of it's going to be curated, and part of it's going to be live. So um, I'm a little impartial to being partial, but hey, I'm just having fun with it all, right? Then, of course, I Johnny Raps. I'll throw down some freestyle stuff and do some hippity hop. So it's going to be something that I think the community needs. And one of my, manifest goals is to bring back concerts to the Orange County Fairgrounds. Because when I was a youth, we used to have concerts here, and it was so amazing. Like to see all these shows and all these bands, and it was something. I guess my first concert. How old was I? I guess it was like 88. You want to hear a funny story? Okay, I'll tell this story. My first concert story. Oh, this is a good one. My sister might not enjoy this one, but hey, that's what happens when. Well, I'll tell the story. So, back in 1988, and actually, I'm gonna Google this while I'm talking to you all, because I think factually having the right thing of information, the right information, is really important. And I don't want to ever give viewers the wrong information. And so I'm just going Orange County Fairgrounds. Boom. Okay, so back in it was 1988. There we go. So they even have cool. They even have set list. I didn't even get to all that stuff. Cool. So back in 1988, Guns N' Roses was like peaking. Well, they just kind of came out with their Appetite for Destruction album in '87, and they were on tour with Aerosmith. Now they were playing the Orange County Fairgrounds, and I said to my sister, "Yo, I really want to go to this one," and she's like, "Okay, I'll get the tickets." I was like, "Awesome," So what ends up happening is, I'm excited. I have my white Guns N' Roses shirt that I don't know if I got that at Paper Tiger at the Paramus Park Mall or over at Rock Fantasy. I think it was Paper Tiger. My brother Frank would take us to a place called Paper Tiger in Paramus Park in Paramus, New Jersey, and that was my jam, to go there and get like concert T-shirts. That was what I loved to do, and so we would go there and get concert T-shirts. That being said, now fast forward to the concert, got my shirt. Leading up to the concert, I was like, where are the tickets? I want to see the tickets. My sister's like, don't worry, I got them, which I did think was peculiar at the time, but I had faith. And I said, well, she said she's got them. I'm not going to keep bothering her, So that being said, the day of the show, me, my sister, my brother, and I believe it was my sister's friend Kelly, drove up my sister's Mustang to the Orange County Fairgrounds. And we parked right in like the front when we got there, and I think we were there kind of early. That's how we got there. And then my sister said something that I'll never forget, and it sent a chill down my spine. She said, "Okay, let's go get tickets," and I said, "Are you being serious? like no, like." For real? Like, this thing's been sold out for weeks, if not a month or two, And she was like, yeah. We'll get them, no worries. I said, what do you mean, no worries? They're all sold out. It was Aerosmith and Guns N' Roses on August 7th, 1988. And straight up, I was so... I don't even know how to put the words, devastatedly disappointed. Devastatedly disappointed that something meant so much to me that was so carelessly omitted by my sister to pick up the tickets from the go into the Sears Roebuck store where the Ticketmaster was and just do four please. But I mean, I've let this go because when you hear the happy ending here, and it's not like happy ending massage parlor start, it's like happy ending like ah. But listen, so I was really upset, and we're in the car, and we have the top down, and I believe the fair was going on at the time. Yeah, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. I just remember that we're sitting in the car and we had the top down, and I was upset. And well, we're right here. We can listen to the music. I'm like, it's not the same, Like I wanted to be there, and I hadn't been to a concert before. This would have been my first concert. So, looking back at it now as I tell this story, um, I wonder if my parental units got in the mix somehow and said, "He ain't going to that concert, Guns N' Roses." Especially if you look at the album cover, not the album cover, like the some of the artwork that Guns N' Roses put forth into the universe was very polarizing. As a kid, it was shocking to me, but I didn't take it as like too deep into it. I was just more into the sonic textures and the sounds of the music than I was like, oh, I love these lyrics. These lyrics mean so much to me. I separated myself from it. I didn't take it seriously. I just looked at it like, I guess how people, and this is something I always confused by, how they watch horror movies. I personally don't like to watch horror movies. I don't see the fun or entertainment value of watching people get stabbed, killed, scared. I personally like to feed my brain happy vibes, which is kind of why like listening to Guns N' Roses was uh, a switch off of my normal path. Primarily because like I generally like good vibe stuff. I mean, like Whitesnake is a good example. Most of their songs about like love and ladies and having good times. I'm down with that. In fact, last night, as I prepare for my Bang Your Head Ball Saturday, it's one of those things where I have been putting together some good 80s, 90s throwback rock, metal, and I fell asleep listening to some stuff. And I went like, I was always the guy that went to the obscure stuff, like stuff that people make fun of me for, like Slaughter and Danger Danger. Lynch Mob had some teeth because George Lynch was in it, even though the second album was a lot more looser. I love Dream Until Tomorrow. That song, just the chord progression, it just resonates with me. And such fond memories listening to that album. In fact, I'm going to listen to it again. So back to the story. So in the car, and Guns N' Roses starts. And that was tough for me. Being in the car as Guns N' Roses opens up with "It's So Easy," and I'm looking here right now. I'll leave these set lists in the comments for the episode, so you can go back and look at them yourself. I know Phyllis, my buddy Phyllis, was there. She was the hugest Guns N' Roses fan. And I didn't know Phyllis at the time, but I knew she was there. She loved Guns N' Roses. So set list was "It's So Easy," Mr. Brownstone, "Patience," "Move to the City," "Out to Get Me," and a blues jam. Well, that's interesting. Very interesting. They played Patience. Wow. I wonder. This is interesting. Is that the whole set? Um, I wonder. I'm looking at this thing on this website called Discogs. I wonder if, in fact, they if they had more songs. I'm going to a setlist FM now. Okay, I'm going to it. Guns N' Roses. Okay, I wonder if that was just no. Yeah, they played a little bit more. Yeah, it's so easy. Mr. Brownstone, Patience, Move to the City, Out to Get Me, Blues Jam, Guitar Solo, Sweet Child of Mine, and Welcome to the Jungle. Wow, they played Patience back in 1988, which is interesting because I don't think the Lies, Lies, Live album came out until '89. I gotta go look at that now. Well, anyway, I don't want to diverge from the story. We'll get back to that. But point of the matter is, listen to all the Guns N' Roses sitting in the car, and while I was upset that I couldn't go in there, I was thoroughly happy that I was able to enjoy the show from the parking lot. I always, even at a young age, I was trying to find happiness in hell. And normally, if you have your mind set to something, like you're going to Wally World and you end up at the Yellowstone Park, like, yeah, I mean, Yellowstone Park is cool, but I wanted Wally World, right? So, missed Guns N' Roses. And I get out of the car at this point. I think I was out of the car at this point, just walking around. And some dude was leaving, I don't remember who the dude was, but I saw him throw his ticket stub on the ground. And this is why it helps being a turtle with observant eyes. It's almost like, maybe I'm a turtle with bee eyes, where I've got bzzz, I see a million different things, or fly eyes. And so I grabbed the ticket stub, and I remember the guy said, "Hey, did they stamp your hand anything?" Because I do believe the fair was going on at the time. And he said, "Yeah." And he showed me his hand. It said concert. So then I ran back to my sister's car, and straight up, I said, "Hey, Sue, can I borrow your eyeliner for a second?" She's like, "Yeah, why, what's up?" She went in their glove box and got me eyeliner. I wrote on my hand concert. I said, "I'm going into the show." And I went in, and they said, "Get back here," In my head, I feel like I had to jump a fence from where we were, which, it makes the story better, but I really believe that was the case. Um, and I just did the most rock and roll thing, and I just went on in to to the show, right? And I got to the second gate, and I was a little nervous, but I had the concert in my head. I showed the guy the ticket stub, and I went in. Um, so, yeah, I'm looking at the set list now. Rats in the Cellar, Same Old Song and Dance, Hearts Done Time, Ragdoll, Hangman Jury, Permanent Vacation, Angel, Back in the Saddle, Last Child, Lord of the Thighs, Draw the Line, Walking the Dog, a Rufus Thomas cover, Dream On, Walk This Way, Sweet Emotion, I'm Down, the Beatles cover, and then Dude Looks Like a Lady. It was on the Permanent Vacation tour, and man, that was the coolest thing in the whole wide world, to be at that show. And so, yeah, that was my first concert experience. And getting concert T-shirts was always a thing. At that time, I didn't get a concert shirt, but after that, every time I go to the show, I get concert shirts. And so, straight up, that's the vision now. It's the bringing that experience to people. Like, if they can't go to concerts, having music and videos and concert T-shirts. That's been a goal. But bringing the concerts back to the fairgrounds is part of that mission. So, launch on MTV. This story went a little bit longer than expected, and we're at 23 minutes. So, value of the day. What was your favorite concert experience? That's the value of the day. Let you relive concerts. I've taken all my core family people now, like my separated wife. Our first concert was Radiohead. Yes, Radiohead, and she was pregnant with Logan at the time. It was so beautiful. So that was our first concert experience. Then Logan and I, Motley Crue and Kiss, and we got our faces painted. It was beautiful. And then Tyler and me, it was Stone Temple Pilot with Chester Benincourt. And that one was fun because Tyler really wasn't into the concert. He was not as much of a music aficionado as Logan was, and so he was more excited. And he remembers more about going to the Subway sandwich shop within the arena to get cookies and sandwiches than he was about the concert. But those are all special moments to me. So those are concert memories. And me and Logan, we've sort of seen a bunch of concerts together, and that's kind of like our thing to do. We like music and stuff. because I love music and I love going to concerts. And I love when I'm not at a concert to watch music videos and wear concert t-shirts and paint. And that's coming into this world this week on Friday, May 24th. Now, that being said, question of the day: what was your best concert experience? And um, I want to throw it out there. Do you wish, or would you like to see concerts coming back to the Orange County Fairgrounds? That is my podcast poll of the day. And you can always hit that up on the Spotify app or Spotify.com. Now, I found something out that Spotify needs to fix. Apparently, the Spotify computer app does not have the poll questions or the questions of the day. They only have just the podcast. So it's only on Spotify.com or the iOS or iPadOS or Android versions. You can answer those questions. You can always reach me at 650-383-7469, the Cool Line, to help everyone Cool Line. And, of course, at iJohnny on the Insta, the Face, the Snap, and, the SoundCloud if you want to hear me rap. It's been Rizzle My Dizzle, and I look forward to speaking to you sometime between now and later.